It's Wednesday, March 24th, and the time for your Barbados Today morning news update. There is growing interest from investors in Barbados's medicinal cannabis industry. Agriculture and Food Security Minister Inda Ware made the disclosure in his contribution in Parliament yesterday. He said that the number of applications to the Barbados Medicinal Cannabis Licensing Authority has more than doubled over the past 2 months since the application process opened on January 18th.
When we launched on January 18th, we were starting to receive applications at pace. To date, and I hope the honourable member for St. Michael West is listening, we have 45 draft applications. What is a draft application? It means you've expressed an interest. You want to know more, so you're talking to the Cannabis Licensing Authority with a view to applying for a license, 45. We have two applications that were submitted, not approved, but the persons have had all their questions answered. They're comfortable that this is what they want to do, and they want to go to the due diligence process.
The minister did not disclose what categories of licenses the draft applications fell into. He, however, indicated that no application was likely to be approved before May.
And we've allocated 4 months for the due diligence process. So if we started in January, February we were in a national pause, so we could not have dealt with applications because the Cannabis Authority was closed. People were working from home. And this is March, where we've just started to come out. So we don't have a 4 months period yet where we can say the due diligence was done and so a license was issued.
Over 85,000 care packages will be delivered to the most vulnerable in society by the end of this week. That figure was disclosed by Minister of Empowerment and Elder Affairs Cynthia Ford yesterday when debate on the Appropriation Bill 2021 continued in the House of Assembly. Back in January, government announced plans to deliver 60,000 care packages as part of efforts to assist families most affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Ford said that number had been easily surpassed as government had extended the timeline of the program.
We concluded 2 weeks ago, and we will conclude this week, the 85,000 care packages that this government has extended to the people of Barbados who are most in need. Everybody did not yet, but with God's help, we will be able to reach others because Rome was not made in a day. I close, Mr. Speaker, by thanking you for the moment and to indicate that as long as we continue to embrace each other, as long as we continue to work together, as long as we keep ahead of us, each one matters. We are in this together, leaving no one behind. I am sure that as the days go by, we will see an unleashing of spirits, of people who want to share, who want to care, who want to volunteer beyond what happened before, so we can make a difference in their lives, as well as we can at least pat ourselves on the back to say, we have done the best we could, because human beings and preservation of humanity is most critical in what we do here in Barbados.
The minister praised the work of the Welfare Department during the COVID-19 pandemic, saying it had been operating under significant strain.
And I must tell you, Mr. Speaker, those numbers have risen within the last year and a half. We are almost up to 3,700 people who were recipients of food at one point. They get house rents paid. There were so many evictions during the period. The Welfare Department has come in to assist. Of course, the grants for school when we had opened in September, utility bills when we had asked business houses, and so not to cut off the light and the water. Those were the essentials. The Welfare Department has been helping with that. Even burials. There are persons who lost their life for whatever reason, very impoverished. The Welfare Department will assist to a certain amount with the coffin, not the badges and the t-shirts, and so that is not in it at all. That department has been working assiduously. Yes, we have loopholes like we have in any other institution, but our plan going forward in this financial year to be able to look at the reformation and the pulling together of all of the threads in social work in our ministry and others, that will help us to be able with the reform to have one body overseeing all of it.
In other news, family and friends of Ritre Alleyne are trying to come to grips with his death. The promising 21-year-old of Eastbourne St. Philip was recorded as the island's fourth road fatality for the year. Ritre was knocked off his bicycle during a collision with another vehicle around 9:20 on Monday night along Eastbourne Main Road at its junction with Castle Heights, St. Philip. His father, Ritre Alleyne, has been remembering him.
It's the last thing he said to me. Daddy, don't stress. I can make you broke. Why not have an occupation that how you used to live? You help anybody. Somebody wants a fire cut, a bed fire cut, anybody want car wash, anything. He always helpful. You could send it to your shop. You could go your own parent, your own children home, and you say, here you go. No, he was. That's friendly. He helped everybody. You know?
Everybody loved him.
They come out, you walk anyway, speak to everybody. You want to pass nobody.
Very polite.
Not pass nobody. Speak, helpful. Yeah. It just get the stage that he was looking to help. He just said that you used to do everything, it got to help. So he said, I got to find a job.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
The news from our Caribbean neighbors now. Guyana's COVID-19 death toll climbs to 220 after the country recorded 4 more COVID-19 related deaths yesterday. The somber news comes amidst concern by health authorities about increasing cases of the virus in the country. Gordon Mosley of News Source Guyana has more.
Since the start of this month, 21 deaths have been recorded. There are currently 11 persons in the COVID-19 intensive care unit. The Ministry of Health also reported today that the country has seen 64 new cases of the virus being recorded in the past 24 hours. 20 new cases were recorded in Region 4, and another 20 new cases have been recorded in Region 7, and Region 3 saw 17 new cases recorded. Based on the figures released by the Ministry of Health, there are now 901 active cases in the country, with more than 800 of those persons in home isolation. Over 1,000 new cases of coronavirus have been recorded in Guyana in the past 3 weeks, making it one of the highest numbers of new infections in the Caribbean. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony maintains that citizens need to be responsible to avoid contracting the virus.
Right now we have about 900 and something active cases. Over the last 3 weeks we have seen increasing amounts of cases, especially in Region 4 and in Region 3. And this is quite worrying. But we have also noticed that there have been events that people would go to, they're not wearing their mask. The seawall is a typical example where people would go and gather and they're not wearing masks and they have a good time.
And finally, in the U.S., the 21-year-old man accused of the deadly shooting at a Colorado grocery store has been charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder. More from Reuters TV.
A picture began to emerge on Tuesday of the 21-year-old charged with 10 counts of murder in connection with Monday's mass shooting at a Colorado grocery store, but his motive remained unclear.
Why did this happen? We don't have the answer to that yet,
Boulder County District Attorney Michael Doherty said at a news conference that the suspect, identified by police as Ahmad Al-Aliwi Alisa of Arvada, Colorado, was expected to be released from the hospital later on Tuesday and transported to jail after suffering a leg wound in exchange with gunfire with responding police officers at the King Soopers outlet in Boulder. A more detailed picture also emerged of Officer Eric Talley, an 11-year veteran of the Boulder Police Force, who had recently been looking for a less dangerous job, according to a statement released by his father. Talley was the first on the scene and died in the attack.
This officer had 7 children, ages 5 to 18. I just had that officer's whole family in my office 2 weeks ago to give him an award. And so it is personal. This is my community. I live here.
The other 9 victims range in age from 20 to 65. The bloodshed marked the country's second mass shooting in less than a week after a killing spree at spas in the Atlanta area that left 8 people dead, bringing new attention to gun violence in the United States.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.